Okay, so about a day ago, this guy, Fearless Gw2, said, he claimed that Yeti Chomper was S tier. So I said, and I quote, "Send that tier list, Youngblood." And this is what he responded with. Just be warned, because this is the worst tier list I've ever seen in my life. And I'm dead serious about that. Okay, so there is a lot to look at here. So I'm going to go tier by tier, starting with S tier, which is why the fuck is Yeti Chomper, Alien Flower, Mystic Flower, and Chemist even near there? Like, you can't tell me that you have Chemist in S, but Zoologist in D when they are essentially the exact same character. There's no reason they should be 4 tiers apart. That's crazy. I mean, you also look at Mystic and Alien, and there is no justifiable way that they are above the things like Super Commando, which I'll get to in a second. Don't worry, I see it in B tier. There's just no way it's better than it. And I actually talked to Fearless Gabe about this in a YouTube poll on the community posts about this, and he tried to justify it, and it was insane. I mean, he tries to make Mystic Flower look better than Super Commando by talking about how it can heal not him, but his teammates, which might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard come out of that man's mouth. Well, for now, if you are already looking at the lower tiers. Speaking of which, let's do that. You see Unicorn in A, Twilight in F is the same situation with Chemist and Zoologist. It's essentially the exact same character. Why are they 4 tiers apart? What are you doing? I mean, you look at the difference between Unicorn Warp and Twilight Warp. It's not that big. In fact, I would even say Twilight Warp is better because you don't have to use 2 of them and you go a longer distance. And I don't know why this guy thinks that such small changes can impact so many tiers of difference. Okay, that was just S tier, because I need to move on. I know I see Commando P there, and I see Sky Trooper, but I need to move on. So A tier. A tier. A tier. A tier is probably the worst one here. You have the likes of Bandit, Camo, Plumber, Electrician, even being near there. And it's even worse once you realize what's in the lower tiers. Again, I'm looking at Agent P and C and Super Commando and B. I don't know how in your right mind you put Super Commando below the things you put above it. You put Shadow Flower, Vamp Flower, Sun Pharaoh, Camo Cactus, and Bandit Cactus. That's insanity. Super Commando is one of the best things in the game, and he shit on it in that same argument. I mean, you put Super Commando in the same tier as Archaeologist, Paleontologist, Pylon Imp, and Toxic Jumper, which is just an absolute disrespect to society. Moving on from A and B tier, you see C tier, and I can't, man. Agent P and Chomp Thing are placed so conveniently right next to each other in C tier. I can't, man. It doesn't ever get any easier for me, because if you look in D tier, we have Law P. Law P is in D tier and Yeti Chomper is in S tier. I need you to say that to me in a straight face. If you look in the rest of D tier, you have fucking Necros, Cosmic Brains, Scuba Soldier, Welder, and Camo Ranger all in the same tier. And finally, F tier. Electro Citron is an F tier. That's all you need to know about this guy. I could have summed up the entire video with that Electro Citron as an F tier and told you how good this guy is at making tier lists. Fearless Gw2, everybody. Fearless Gw2. Never let him cook.